live with the horror of knowing how his life ended, and I live with the rage of knowing that you ended it.
A man pleaded guilty today to beating a black lab to death at a doggy daycare. It happened in August at Lazy Dog Crazy Dog, a boarding facility in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood. This is King 5 News at 4. I'm Madison Wade.
5:30 live in Seattle. Natalie Swaby, King 5 News.
Kent police are investigating 2 deadly incidents that happened to a woman for assault in the first degree. Arrested but not booked, Seattle police say over the weekend. Police say they're dealing with staffing shortages. Seattle's First Avenue South Bridge is back open in service for tonight's commute following a sudden disruption this morning that lasted for nearly 4 hours. Engineer fixed the system. King 5's Alex McClune is joining us live with more details now on the work being done on this aging bridge. Alex.
Yeah, Madison, you can see traffic is
to fully dry out the wood chips and the soil. Well, we definitely are seeing some dry days, though. Look at this beautiful view of Mount Rainier. My goodness, the mountain isn't beautiful. Adam Clavon is tracking that forecast for us, and it's just going to continue.
Yeah, it just keeps getting warmer from here for the remainder of the work week, that is, as we're going to see highs continue to climb mid to upper 60s tomorrow, possibly a few 70s, not too widespread of 70s on Friday, and we're going to explain why coming up later in the show. Wanted to show you the difference from right now from where we were at this point yesterday, and you can see many spots up by about 5 to 10 degrees across western Washington. A little less of that difference as you head farther to the north, but many of our temperatures are at least in the upper 50s as we speak. Here's your radar, and you can see that we are definitely seeing little of anything as far as activity here across the state of Washington. A bit more as you head farther south in Oregon, and a lot more into northern California as that system continues to spin off the coast. But other than that, yeah, here it is, the sunshine that is out. Sunshine glistening off of the water there in Everett, and then looking at a beautiful shot of Mount Rainier with those upper level clouds moving across the sky. Here are your temperatures: upper 50s around Tacoma, lower 60s in a lot of other spots. 56 as you head farther north there in Bellingham. And as we head on into the evening, expecting temperatures to cool off quite quickly as we'll see more of those overnight lows back in the 30s and possibly even a few 20s. We'll talk about that coming up.
Adam, thank you. 7 gray whales have died, and more as migration continues this spring. The ceasefire in Iran is already facing headwinds. An Iranian news agency reported that oil traffic through the Strait of Hormuz was halted again today. It is oil, and there is a reason why. Experts say when oil prices go up, drivers will feel it fast, usually within 3 to 5 days. But when oil prices drop, until cheaper supply works through the system.
The average price for a gallon of gas in Washington is now around $5.38, compared to just over $4 nationally.
8.5 gallons, $46. That's a bit of a sting. I'm not used to that, but it is what it is.
At the end of the day, most drivers say they still need to fuel up.
$80.45 right there. Yeah, that's a record for this car, and it's a family car, so.
King 5 has a tool you can use to find the cheapest gas prices near you. Scan that QR code on your screen to take a look at our King 5 app. It will show you the prices, the name of the gas station, and the address. The app is free to download on your phone and TV. Seattle native and mountaineering legend Jim. A new look at the Milky Way. The Artemis II crew homeward bound, and the stunning photo they're bringing back with them. Also, the deadline to file your taxes is fast approaching. Next, how you can file yours for free using resources right here in Western Washington. You will want to hear about that. King 5 is back just after this. Well, tax day is 1 week away, and for a lot of people, filing can feel overwhelming or expensive. The good news, though, as we are about a week away from tax day. Thanks for your time. We will be right back with another look at your forecast. Stay with us.
King 5 News is sponsored in part by Pinky's Plumbing.
We have some breaking news just into King 5. The Kraken's president of hockey operations, Ron Frank, lack of space. It's just every day it gets better with all those photos coming in from Artemis II. All right, let's take a live look around the sound. We're tracking warmer temperatures for the second half of our week. And thank goodness spring really is here. Meteorologist Adam Clavon's tracking it for us.
Yeah, you know what? We've seen so many nice days here recently. We're going to keep it going through the end of the work week, and we continue to warm up again, too. Now, the afternoons are back into those 30s. Start off around more the 30s, but get back into the mid-60s and see more of the rain over the weekend.
All right, Adam, thank you. And thank you so much for being with us at 4. Up next is our first episode of our brand new show, On Deck with the Mariners. Paul Sylvie and Ariel Orsuto will look at how the team is doing so far this season, give updates on key players, and we will have much more. Don't forget, you can watch Friday's home game against the Astros right here on King 5. We are partnering with the Mariners to broadcast 10 home games throughout the season. So thank you so much for being with us. On Deck is next. Have a good evening.
Now at 5, student workers rally at SeaTac Airport as a University of Washington grad student's deported alongside his 13-year-old son. A deadly night in the city of Kent.
It kind of left me devastated.
Police are investigating after a shooting and separate stabbing claimed multiple lives.
What's troubling is that we're so early in the year.
A major hit to the Northwest whale population.
It's declined over 50% in the last 10 years.
A lack of food linked to gray whales dying across Washington. A shaky ceasefire is leaving the world on edge as fuel costs skyrocket.
We're in a worse position than we were before the war.
The latest as the U.S. and Israel wage war on Iran. A protest at SeaTac Airport today as Customs and Border Protection officials put a UW grad student and his 13-year-old son on a deportation flight to Amsterdam. This is King 5 News at 5 o'clock. I'm Joyce Taylor. King 5 Sharon Yu was there and brings us this exclusive story.
More than 50 protesters. News.
And we're following breaking news just into the King 5 newsroom. The Kraken's president, Joyce. Brady, thank you. Well, arrested but not booked. Seattle police say over the weekend 3 suspects were turned away from they are dealing with staffing shortages. Well, gray whales are turning up dead in Washington, and scientists say it's happening earlier than ever before. King 5's Bridget Chavez is live at Alki Beach tonight. So, Bridget, what are scientists saying is driving this? Routes on agricultural production. A former employee at a Seattle dog boarding facility says he is guilty for the death of a boarded dog. Coming up, how long he's going to spend behind bars. The First Avenue South Bridge gets stuck in the open position overnight. With a history of similar incidents, is the state doing anything to prevent repeat failures? The U.S. and Iran reached a temporary ceasefire, but peace is far from restored. Does Tehran still hold the keys to the world's most important shipping lane? Injustice for thousands in the Middle East. Let's look at our weather live over Everett, where the sun's been shining, skies clear and blue. Let's get to Adam Claybon for more on what the forecast is looking like this week.
Yeah, here we go, Joyce. Another
Gorgeous.
couple of days where things are going to be nice and beautiful and sunny, and going to be warming up during the daytime hours. Another round of frost advisories again tonight. Pretty much the same locations now here around Pierce and King counties. The foothill communities probably will see some frost tomorrow morning as we drop down into the low to mid 30s. That includes those of us in Puyallup, Bonnie Lake, up towards Maple Valley. Just get ready for it. The chill will be there, not for long. We'll warm up quickly. Another spot included in this one tonight up this way around Snohomish County, there for areas near the Everett locations. Now, that's where we're going to see those temperatures generally between the low to mid 30s, but just like last night when we saw some of those frost advisories out, there could be the potential for maybe a few 20s. I don't think there'll be as many of them because our air mass is modifying, but check out how cool the numbers were this morning, or how cold they were really this morning. 27 in Shelton, 29 in Olympia. Quite chilly for early April. We'll see things again modify over the next couple of days, not only with the daytime highs, but also with our overnight lows as they start to bounce back more so into the 40s, especially once we head into the weekend. But that's coming along with more cloud coverage and more rain. That's going to be across the region. Here's a look out towards Westport. As you can see, the sun is out there and it is beautiful. We're going to see some really nice sunsets here over the next few evenings. Our Bellingham camera, clear skies there. Just a cloud or two is really showing up in the sky. And you can kind of tell there is a breeze out there. So if you're in a shaded area, you'll feel the chill. It's going to be chilly still, even though we are in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Without the sunshine on that skin, the coolness in the air definitely will have and play a factor. And once we lose the sun tonight, things are going to cool off rather quickly. Beautiful shot of Mount Rainier too here in Seattle. And as you look, temperatures go from those low 60s through the 50s, down into the 40s. And here in Seattle, I think we barely tip and clip the upper 30s, but then we'll warm up quickly heading on into tomorrow afternoon. Here are your current numbers. Right now in the low 60s in Bremerton, Shelton at 63, 57 as you head out towards the coast. But wanted to show you that because of how much we've warmed up from at this point yesterday. Up by about 5 to 6 degrees across most of our locations. A bit warmer out there towards the south coast. So the air mass is modifying. We continue to see more of an offshore push because of this area of low pressure that is scooting its way closer to the California coast. But we're far enough north where we're not really going to be impacted yet by it. Only thing we might see from time to time are a few clouds, and that's not going to happen tonight. Futurecast showing the clear skies here as we go throughout the evening hours and into the day for tomorrow, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Lots of sunshine out there. Here we go into tomorrow afternoon, pretty much more the same. And then we start to see some of those clouds coming in from the south. You can see that heading on into Friday, and this is coming in just a bit earlier. So this might help to limit and keep us from really getting into the 70s on Friday because the shower chances will start to pick up as we head on into the nighttime hours there at 10 p.m. For tonight, though, back down into the 30s we'll go. 33 in Shelton, 35 there around Puyallup, and then highs tomorrow in the mid to upper 60s. Better chances of seeing at least a few 70s on Friday before we get that cool down with that system bringing in a few showers into the weekend.
And we're following breaking news right now. A shooting investigation is underway. We'll bring you that latest information. And ahead tonight, the King 5 investigators have found a local pharmacies making and shipping knockoffs of weight loss drugs like Ozempic online, what state inspectors found and why patients may have been put at risk. The cost of oil plummeted after a fragile ceasefire was announced between Iran and the U.S., but that does not mean that gas prices are going down anytime soon. The reasons next.
King 5 First Alert Weather is sponsored in part by Emerald Queen Casino.
Oil markets saw some relief today after the U.S. and Iran announced a ceasefire of Hormuz might reopen. Even if it does, analysts say that the ceasefire does not guarantee that oil tankers will be on the move quickly. In fact, Iran halted oil traffic in the Strait today after Israel attacked alleged. Karen, thank you so much.
You bet.
And still ahead, nearly 8 months after a dog was beaten to death at a Seattle doggy daycare, the worker responsible has been sentenced. Next, we're going to hear the emotional words from the family who described the loss as a permanent wound. Seattle's First Avenue Bridge was stuck open for hours this morning, causing delays for commuters, while officials say that they don't expect this problem to happen again. And a King 5 investigation looking into a Kirkland pharmacy the state says posed a serious risk to patients. Details on the several state violations. In Seattle, a man pleaded guilty to beating a black lab to death at a doggy daycare. It happened in August at Lazy Dog, Crazy Dog, a boarding facility in Seattle, sometime this week.
Criminal means.
Well, a King 5 investigation has revealed never-before-seen video of state investigators raiding a Kirkland pharmacy that makes weight loss drugs. The state found the business is cutting safety corners while producing knockoffs of Ozempic and Zepbound. As King 5 investigator Chris Ingalls reports tonight, despite the scathing inspection last year, the company selling those GLP-1s is still in business.
A team of investigators from the
repeated requests for a comment. Well, the First Avenue Bridge in South Seattle is back open after being stuck for at least an hour earlier today. What caused the outage? And a major change in the Seattle Kraken front office, why Ron Francis is stepping down as Kraken president.
And the temperatures continue to climb as we head into the end of the work week. There are some changes on the way for the weekend, and it does include rain. We'll let you know if that will impact any of your plans or not coming up.
King 5 Plus, streaming live local radar 24/7. Watch as the storm rolls in and check the forecast whenever you want. Stream now and watch for free. Live radar 24/7, only on King 5 Plus.
Port Angeles now with just a great view. It looks so beautiful there on the water, where a lot of us would love to be today. Let's get back to Adam. What a nice couple of days we've had.
Yeah, it's been really nice, and we've seen the sunshine. It's been warming up since yesterday, though, because we did have the cool down back on Tuesday, and today we got up into the low 60s, tomorrow the mid 60s, and we'll keep that going through Friday. And then we'll have the changes over the weekend, and we're going to tell you how maybe those changes will help to keep temperatures from hitting the 70s as we head on into Friday, because those clouds are going to be moving in just a bit earlier than what we were seeing throughout the week. But first, let's take a look at Port Angeles and really check out the nice conditions that we have right now. People out enjoying it as they are right by the Strait of Juan de Fuca. You can see Mount Baker off into the distance there. Beautiful shot of a plane beginning to work its way in here out at SEA, and those skies again fairly clear for us too. Throughout the night, we're going to see temperatures staying clear, or skies staying clear, as temperatures will drop fairly quickly back down into those low 40s. Now, radar does have a little cloud coverage off to the south, or at least satellite does have a little cloud coverage farther to the south, with a few of those showers too make their way in. And it's this system right here that will be the one really helping to produce a bit more of that cloud coverage up our way, trying to throw some moisture our way too as we head on towards the tail end of the work week heading into Friday night. Though for tonight, though, we are dealing with a bit more of that chillier air. Overnight lows dropping down generally between those low to mid 30s in these locations that you see shaded in the blue, where we have these frosted advisories, and could be a few 20s out there. But what we're expecting is that it's not going to be as cold as last night, because our air mass is now beginning to modify. And with the clear skies tonight, sunny skies on the way heading into the day for tomorrow, we really don't have much in terms of any active weather at all. Just a little breezy at times as we head into the afternoon. That might add a little chill to the air if you're in a shaded spot, but generally we're going to keep things pretty sunny. Then once we head on into Friday, this is Friday morning, we start to see some of those clouds coming in from the south with that disturbance. And you can see that continues to find its way in from the south, and there could be some moisture by the time we head on into Friday night. That's 10 o'clock. It really enhances and starts to move on in past midnight and into the earlier part of Saturday. We're going to see that move on through. Not a big washout, because a lot of this system is going to actually be directed off towards the south, or at least the moisture with it, as you can see that really finding its way down across California and parts of Oregon, and that's where the bulk of the heaviest precipitation as far as the rain and yes, the mountain snow that they're going to see down there will be. We'll have some of it here as we're on the northern edge of it, but overall we're going to have this next disturbance, which is going to come down and kind of couple and work together with that one, move on through as we head on into the latter part of the weekend. Again, a little shower activity up for us. What we'll be keeping an eye out for will be this next disturbance heading on into Tuesday evening and Tuesday night, as that can provide and produce a better chance of some rain, as well as maybe a little more of a chance for some mountain snow across the area. Is there a lot? No, there's not really a lot, but we'll take what we can get, and definitely as we head around into this time of the season, is not so much so for the resorts, but it's for us trying to replenish as much of that moisture for the mountains, so we can keep that moisture up that way, or at least for a long time as we head on into summer season, the fire season. 7-day forecast still looks decent though through Friday, just cooler and wetter this weekend.
The Ron Francis era with the Kraken is over. The team announced Francis is stepping down as the team's president of operations. President Francis has been with the Kraken.
This is a team that will be back.
Mariners pitching staff has come to play this season. They're ranked 4th in ERA and 2nd in WHIP this season. Storm legend Sue Bird is back in the WNBA as a broadcaster. NBC announced Bird will be a studio analyst for the upcoming season. A Hall of Famer, 3 tournaments. There were 4 aces today.
Okay, well, at least had some fun.
That's right.
Thanks. Well, the First Avenue Bridge in Seattle is open after a technical issue brought traffic to a standstill this morning. So what went wrong, and what happens next?
Drivers for hours in Seattle. Alex McClune, King 5 News.
And today on King 5 News, Seattle police say that over the weekend, 3 suspects were turned away from King County Jail, sent to Harborview instead. We're going to tell you why at 6:30. In Seattle, a man pleaded guilty to beating a black lab to death at a doggy daycare. It happened in August at Lazy Dog Crazy Dog, a boarding facility in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood. We'll have details from court in half an hour. Gray whales, they're turning up dead in Washington, and scientists say it's happening earlier than ever before. They're also linking a lack of food in the Northwest to the loss. A closer look after Nightly.
Tonight, fragile ceasefire, oil prices drop and markets rise. What happens next with the Strait of Hormuz, and when will we feel relief at the pump? Plus, the missing mother in the Bahamas, what her husband is now saying. We're on the ground when we join you in the West for Nightly News.
And also at 6, you can find more local headlines on King 5 News at 6, which is streaming live on our King 5 app. Download that for your TV or your phone so you can watch for free. Thanks for spending the hour with us. We'll see you again in 30 minutes right here for King 5 News at 6:30 and 7 with Greg Copeland. Have a great night.
Continue with us. Stream King 5 now on your TV or phone.